I'm going to show you how to do a flat weaving. So for mine, we're going to use a cardboard loom. In the classroom, I have pre-made ones, but you can make your own. And to make your own, all I did was I took a piece of cardboard and I cut little notches at the top and the bottom that all go to about the same height. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a thin yarn, and I'm going to put my thin yarn, let's see, through every single notch. And this is going to set up my loom so that I could do a flat weaving. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the thinner string and I'm putting it through each and every notch that I have in order. And then at the back, I have these two pieces. You can tape them down or you can tie them on. For now, I'm just going to tape them down, just to make sure they don't go anywhere. Alright, so this is the front of my loom. And now what you're going to do is you can choose to do yarn or you can use other materials. I'm going to use yarn for mine. So I'll start off with this purpley fancy yarn that I happen to have. When you take your yarn, there are some thinner ones, there are some thicker ones. The thinner ones like this go at a slightly slower rate. The thicker ones will go a little bit faster because they take up more space. You want to take about an arm's length of yarn. So hold one end in your fingertips, hold the other end in your fingertips, and stretch your arms. And that's probably a good amount to get started. If you have too much, it tends to get knotted. So this is very similar to my paper weaving. You're going to take the end of the yarn and you're going to go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And here's the trick. Now you have to pull, 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 until you have this tiny little bit sticking out. You don't want to have too much sticking out. And then you're going to slide it all the way to the top. Now, I ended here with going over top this string. So now I have to go under. So I'm going to go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And you don't want this big string hanging out here. So you're going to go pull, 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 pull. And if you did it right, your string is not going to come all the way out again. And slide it to the top. If you pull too hard, it's going to make this kind of curve inward, so you don't want to do that. So don't yank it, just pull it so that you get rid of that big loop that's on the end. And then we're going to go the other way. Now, here's a trick. You can take something like a pencil, weave your pencil under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay? So, and we're going to leave that in there as long as we can. Watch what happens now. So all the times that so now I'm over top this string, I need to go under, but look, my pencil's already under. So I'm going to slide it up. It makes it a little bit easier to slide just going this direction. It won't work going the other way. So anytime I go this way, I can use my pencil to assist me. I'm going to pull, but I'm not pulling too tight, and then I'm going to slide my pencil out of the way. You could also use a ruler too. And I'm going to push it all the way to the top. I know I did good because if I pull it, it doesn't come all the way out. So I stopped on over. So I'm going to go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And pull. Don't pull too tight. I'm going to use my pencil to assist. So I'm going to slide that up. It just makes it so you don't have to pull up the string at all. I'm going to keep going. Slide my pencil out of the way. Okay, right now I have a choice to make. I have just a little bit of yarn left on here, so I can choose to stop it here, or I can keep going until I can't do it anymore. And I want to show you how to transition to another piece of yarn. Now I like to end it in the middle so that you don't have these little things sticking out, but we'll cut that off at the end. So I ended it here. Now I'm going to switch to a different color, or if you want, you can continue to use the same one. Hold the end. You're going to do it until you have about an arm's length. Cut it. Now, I ended right here on, I'm going to pretend my string's going the same direction. I ended on under, so I'm going to make this one go under, over, under, over. I'm going to pull, 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 pull. Oops, I pulled too much. And I'm just going to tuck this up here with this one. I'm going to tuck it in like it never happened. And then I'm going to go the other way now. So I'm kind of pretending the string just keeps going and going and going. And then I'm going to pull. Remember, don't pull too tight. If you make a mistake, so let me show you what a mistake looks like on this one. So I'm supposed to go under, but what if I went over under like this? Watch what happens. So I know I made a mistake because my yarn does this. Oh no, it kind of undid everything I just did. That's really sad. That means I must have gone the wrong direction on the end. So easy fix, just redo it. And then push it to the top. And then another mistake you might make is, let me show you this one. You're going under, over, under, over. And what if I did over, over? Oh no, look at this. If I was to pull it right now, you can see I went over, over. That doesn't work. And that messed me up on this one because now I'm under, which is the same as that. So try to pay attention to what you're doing. Undo that one string and then you can keep going. Okay. All right, it also helps, a couple pointers. You can put this on a needle. Needles might not work with the jumbo yarn, but it might make it easier to go over under. You can make these skinnier, so you don't have to use every single notch. Maybe you just use the left or the right few, or the middle. It's up to you. You can make it longer, make your own loom like I did. If you decide to weave other things through here, you could do things like grass or branches. So those you wouldn't have to worry about wrapping it around the edge because it's only a single piece. You would just have to remember to do the opposite each time. Okay. So I'm going to do some TV magic here, some digital magic, and next time you come back I'll be finished and I'll show you how to end it. Wow, look at that, I finished. Okay, I'm going to show you how to end it. Don't worry about these little pieces sticking out for now. Now, one thing I want to tell you is I did end up using a needle. It made it go so much easier, and I did do my pencil trick. But one other trick is if you had used your pencil, after every single row you push it up, it'll make it a tighter weave and lock it in more. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to end this. I'm turning it over, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut down the middle. So this is why I taped it. It makes it easier to untape it later. Cut it down the middle. Just the white strings from, in my case, which is your warp. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the end. I'm going to pick out two, just two. Don't undo them all. And I'm going to double knot them together. Just like that. Then I'm going to pick out my next two. Pull them back through my weaving. And I'm going to double knot them. So cross it, make sure that knot goes all the way down. Then I'm going to pick out my next two. And this way it's not stuck to the cardboard forever. Once you go through and you knot it all, if you still have extra warp left, you can add things like beads to it if you want. And of course tie those on as well. You could weave a stick through it so it can hang. You can trim off your extra string if you don't want to see string at all. But you'll notice that this weaving came out good because none of the sides were curved in. It was a straight line down the left and the right side. And again, if you have a really big loom and you don't want to go all the way to the bottom, you don't have to. You can stop wherever you want. It all depends on how you tie the string. But tying it is very important, and double knotting it too. And if you happen to have 3 strings left over and not 2, you could always just tie the last 3 together. I think mine worked out perfectly that I have 2. And if you don't want to have 3 when you originally make your notches, make sure you count them and just have an even number. All right, 2 more to go. It is free from the cardboard. I'm going to go through. For me, I'm going to trim off some of this white. I don't like all of that. But it is easier to have longer for knotting. I'm going to trim off my little side pieces that stick out. Be careful not to cut your actual weaving too much. Let me trim the bottom and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. One more. All right, and here, my friend, is my weaving. Ta-da!